Good afternoon. I am delighted to welcome everyone to the Convocation ceremony for the Northwestern Pritzker School of Law class of 2022. Congratulations to our amazing graduates. It is wonderful, especially at this moment, to be able to welcome the family and friends of graduates who are here in person with us today, and those who are joining us remotely from around the world. It is also my pleasure to welcome our special guests, this year's graduation speaker, Marie O. Huber, Senior Vice President, Chief Legal Officer, and General Counsel of eBay Inc., and Dean Soledad Atienza of IE Law School, our partner school in Madrid. on a more personal note, this class will always be special to me as my first one here at Northwestern, and I just want to give them a big thank you for the warm welcome that they've given. So today, we are honoring and celebrating an extraordinary achievement, your successful completion of a rigorous legal education program. Now, this would be a major achievement at any time, but these graduates have done so while facing major challenges. The class of 2022 has shown resiliency, support for one another, and leadership that has made such a difference. We are so proud of you, and it is with great pleasure that we celebrate and recognize our amazing graduates today. The 162nd class to graduate from Northwestern Pritzker Law includes 713 graduates from 9 degree programs: Juris Doctor, Joint Juris Doctor, Master of Business Administration, Master of Laws in International Human Rights, Master of Laws in Taxation, Executive Master of Laws, Master of Studies in Law, Doctor of Juridical Science, and Master of Science in Law. That's a lot of degrees. Our graduates come from all over the United States and 42 places around the world, and have already accomplished so much and contributed so much during their time in law school. They've published numerous articles, including ones that were solo authored and co-authored with our faculty. And they've also had competitive success that's included winning the Midwest Regional of the National Trial Competition, the Americas Regional Rounds, and the Price Media Law Moot Court Competition, winning Best Individual Defendant at the International and European Moot Court Competition, and Best Overall for the seller side at the UCLA Transactional Law Competition, as well as being semi-finalists in VentureCat, which is one of the nation's premier student startup competitions. Our students have given back in so many ways. 143 students from across our programs completed our student public service goal of at least 50 hours of public service, and or the equivalent goal for students who have been here for less than 3 years, with 27 students volunteering more than 100 hours and 23 of them volunteering more than 200 hours while they've been in law school. They've made an impact through the Bloom Legal Clinic, spring break trips that provided assistance to asylum seekers and worked to address issues of racial and economic injustice, and in programs in our Chicago public schools. And when the pandemic hit, this class helped small businesses navigate the CARES Act funding requirements and application process. They made face masks for children and medical care workers, and they helped compile legal resources for a directory of life planning documents for those on the front lines of the pandemic. And this and so much more was just in law school. Following their graduation from these programs, this class will make their impact in the United States and around the world at law firms and businesses, governmental positions, and public interest positions that advance social justice and human rights, including ones supported by Skadden and Equal Justice Work Fellowships. Our JD graduates will be clerking for federal and state court judges in 18 states plus DC. Our MSL graduates will bring their integrated law, business, and STEM knowledge to law, medicine, technology and other companies, healthcare and management consulting, and regulatory affairs and compliance. We are so excited for all that these graduates will contribute, and it's why I keep saying over and over again that they give me and they give us all hope for the future. It is important at this milestone moment to acknowledge the people who supported us to this day and who will be there for us as we move forward. We know, as each of our graduates knows, that the love and unfailing support of family and friends, always, and particularly during these challenging times, have played a crucial role in getting them to today, and will support them as they move forward into the future. So please join me in a huge congratulations and thank you to all of the family and friends and support network for our students here today. Northwestern Pritzker Law is also privileged to have a team of amazing faculty, administrators, and staff that are deeply committed to serving our students. Please join me in thanking our faculty, our administrators, our staff, who have taught and supported our graduates, and those who have worked so hard to make the celebration today special. So it is a long-standing tradition at Northwestern Pritzker Law for the graduating class to select some of their fellow students to deliver remarks. This year's class has selected 3 speakers: a JD graduate, an LLM graduate, and a graduate of our Master of Science in Law program. Our first speaker is JD graduate Naomi Duru. Naomi graduated, Naomi graduated from Washington University in St. Louis, where she majored in philosophy and international business. Following graduation, she worked at Procter & Gamble for 2 years as an account manager. During her time at Northwestern Pritzker Law, Naomi was involved in a number of areas. She was a member of BALSA, the minor board, and the National Moot Court team, and was on the winning team for the minor moot court in 2021. She also served as an Apex advisor and as a TA for 2 tort sections, and completed an independent study under the advisement of Professor Ellen Mullaney. After graduation, Naomi is joining the law firm of Kirkland & Ellis here in Chicago. So please join me in welcoming her to the stage.
Thank you, Dean Osofsky, faculty, and staff. Particularly, I'd like to thank both Jocelyn and Professor Mullaney. These 2 women have been great mentors to me over the last 3 years. Thank you to my fellow students and their families and friends. Specifically, I'd like to thank my family, my parents. They have taught me the value of an education. They have also taught me to always take my work seriously, but to never take myself too seriously. The debt I owe to all of you, unlike the debt I owe to the US government, is immeasurable. Graduating law school isn't a given. After a roller coaster 3 years, the fact that we get to graduate here in this theater together is truly an accomplishment. Congratulations. As a future lawyer, it should be no surprise that I love words. Specifically, I love my favorite word, sonder. Sonder is defined as the sudden realization that every random passerby has a life as vivid and complex as your own. I used to only get this feeling in airports. I would look around and see people coming out of their cars or various trains and think about how we've all made hundreds or millions of decisions in our lifetime that have somehow all led us to one random airport on a random weekday. For a moment in time, we all occupy the same space before jetting off to our next adventure. When I look out into the crowd of graduates today, I get the same feeling I always get in airports. And no, I don't mean the sense of uneasiness and stress that I feel spending $9 on a bottle of water. I mean a sense of awe. I'm in awe of all of our histories, coming from various parts of the country and the world. We've all had different childhoods and expectations and dreams. We have liberal arts backgrounds, we have STEM backgrounds, and we have finance backgrounds. However, no matter all the twists and turns in each of our individual lives, something led us all here, to Northwestern. And I don't know about you, but I definitely could not have predicted that I'd be here. In fact, there's a lot about this law school experience that I could not have predicted. Our various deans. The stomach-churning feeling of getting cold-called in class. A global pandemic. Or finally seeing professors in person and realizing that they are much taller or shorter than you'd originally imagined. After all of this, we are all going to set off on our new adventures. But there is one thing I can be absolutely sure of. We are all equipped with what it takes to build lives that we are truly proud of. And that it's because we all have an immense amount of grit. In this crowd, we have people who came in as parents or who became parents during law school. We have people who have battled their mental health. We have people who were overwhelmed by the demands of law school but showed up anyway. And we have people who are encountering obstacles that we'll never truly know about. But no matter what, we made it all here to this precious and coveted moment. I am so grateful, and it's so beautiful that in all of our differences, we have gotten to share this experience together. Some of us will start work together in the fall. Some of us will see each other at a random alumni event 10 or 20 years from now. And some of us will give each other a curious but knowing glance one day in a random airport. I once heard it said, "Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the opinions of others drown out your own inner voice. And most importantly, have the courage to follow your heart and your intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Everything else is secondary." I am so privileged to have been a part of your stories, and I'm infinitely grateful that you've been a part of mine. Let's keep writing those stories. Thank you.
Thank you, Naomi, and wow, let's think about the stories that this class is about to write. So inspiring. I'm now pleased to welcome our second student speaker, Cristiana Gonzalez Duarte. Cristiana is a graduate of our LLM program for foreign lawyers. In 2011, Cristiana graduated from AFIT University Law School in Medellin, Colombia. Before coming to Northwestern, she worked for law firms as an in-house counsel in Medellin. She has focused her practice on project development and infrastructure. And during her time at Northwestern, she participated in the Latinx Law Students Association and Women's Leadership Coalition. She also led Columbia's participation in Global Village. After graduation, she will join Meyer Brown's banking and finance practice in New York. So please join me in welcoming her to the podium.
Good afternoon. Where are my LLMs? I'm shaking. Dear faculty members, family, friends, and fellow graduates, I'm so honored to represent the LLM class of 2022. I am just as excited as you are to be here today. This is my first time I've spoken in front of so many people at such an important event. I recently became a speech specialist by watching some of the most famous speeches in history, and all of them lasted at least 20 minutes. Trust me if I tell you it is a huge challenge to give a meaningful speech in 5 minutes. So instead of doing an elaborate speech, I have decided to share a simple but powerful message. Be kind. Before I came to study for my LLM at Northwestern, I knew I wanted to get a job in the US after graduation. The chances of getting a job were limited. I had not worked in big law in Colombia, I had not participated in international transactions, and I was too experienced to be a foreign associate. My LLM friends know I set up an ambitious plan to achieve my goal. I made a list with the names of 124 partners from 40 different law firms. Part of my strategy was to ensure that each partner had an email from me in their inbox straight after lunch on a Tuesday and Thursday. I sent around an impressive 400 emails in 4 months. My plan did not depend solely on my efforts. It mainly relied on a response from these lawyers. To my surprise, 33 accepted to have a phone call. We connected on a professional level and talked about their legal practice, what they were looking for in a foreign associate, etc. However, we also connected on a personal level. We also spoke about their fears when they graduated from law school, why they should visit Colombia, and the hobbies we had in common. Every single person I spoke with was kind to me. Today, we climb another step on the professional ladder by becoming Masters of Law. My dear Masters, we must acknowledge that the higher we get in our professional careers, the greater the responsibility is to give back to those who will come after us. Let's use our privilege to impact someone else's life positively. Be kind and share your knowledge with others. It will multiply. Be kind to junior lawyers, because we were once junior lawyers too. Be kind and give feedback over a cup of coffee instead of writing an email that will destroy someone's confidence. Be the person we all want to have within our reach to clear out doubts and access the opportunities we thought unattainable. Be kind, because words and actions change lives. Also, be kind to yourself. We all went through a lot last year. Just remember when we had to write the CLR memo. Most of us left our hometown and everything we knew to begin a new adventure in this fantastic city we have called home for the last year. Some of us left our partners and children back home. Others lost close relatives while doing the LLM. Take a moment today to congratulate yourself on this achievement, because your courage and persistence allowed you to overcome all the challenges you encountered. Tomorrow, we will start a different chapter in our careers. Remember that what we have learned during this year, inside and outside of the classroom, about the law and ourselves, will allow us to take the next step, navigate the future, and draw our definition of success. To all women, let me tell you that gender equality begins by being kind to ourselves. 2 years ago, I attended a talk by the expert negotiator and Columbia Law School professor, Alexandra Carter. She explained why it is more difficult for women to negotiate. One of the reasons, she said, is because we have less confidence in ourselves. She told a story to illustrate the point. In a room full of men and women, they asked who considered themselves a breastfeeding expert. After a while, the first person to raise their hand was a man. He explained that his wife had had a baby 3 months ago and that he had been watching the breastfeeding process closely. Surprisingly, most of the women in the room were mothers who had breastfed their children, but none had dared to raise their hand because they didn't consider themselves breastfeeding experts. Therefore, acknowledge your value and don't be afraid to be the first to raise their hand. When you send When you send that email with your opinion or reach out to someone looking for advice, don't apologize. When another woman has a great idea or has achieved something significant, give her credit and replicate the message every time you can. Being kind to ourselves and among ourselves is the first step to closing the gender gap. Dear LLM friends, felicitaciones. We made it. I'm sure you will rock the world wherever you go and whatever you do. Just remember one essential yet powerful thing: be kind. Thank you.
What inspiring words that we all should listen to, the importance of kindness. Our final student speaker is Rory Fitzpatrick, a graduate of our Master of Science in Law program. Rory graduated from Princeton University, where she studied physics and computer science. She received her PhD in high-energy physics from the University of Michigan and spent most of that time based at Fermi National Accelerator Laboratory here in Illinois. Her research focused on understanding the neutrino, one of nature's most abundant fundamental particles. She continues to engage with and promote interdisciplinary research at Northwestern through the MSL Symposium, the Law and Technology Initiative, and as a research assistant. After graduation, she will serve as the IEEE USA Engineering and Diplomacy Fellow working at the U.S. Department of State. Please join me in welcoming Rory.
Thank you, Dean Osofsky, and thank you to my fellow speakers for your thoughtful words. I am humbled to be sharing this stage with you. I'll be perfectly honest, I genuinely did, for a way to turn this into some kind of physics talk that had any place being on this law school stage. And to, I think, everyone's benefit, I never did quite manage to make that work. But I would be remiss not to reflect on the frameworks of thinking that physics and the various STEM backgrounds of my MSL peers provide for analyzing the complex problems we came to the MSL program to learn how to solve. Particle physics, for example, attempts to describe the weirdness of the world at a scale that we can't visualize, a scale that confounds any intuition we develop interacting with the world throughout our lives at human scales. We learn, in my area of physics, that everything in discrete instances is random, subject to some probabilistic distribution of outcomes. It's only when you aggregate all that randomness into an ensemble of discrete random happenings, when you move from micro to macro, that science behaves in a way we can reliably predict. The law often operates in much the same way. And these frameworks of thinking that translate so well to the law are why the interdisciplinary approach to problem solving that the MSL program celebrates is so powerful. It helps STEM professionals reduce, or at least better understand, ambiguity in the law and related fields. We came here because we knew that no matter how accomplished we were in our pre-MSL lives, Our learning loses its potency if we can't bridge the gap between the sciences and the legal policy-driven initiatives that govern so much of our world. We knew we needed to understand, both from professors and our peers, through courses, discussion, and often lively debate, how to collaborate creatively and effectively and efficiently with those who speak the disciplinary languages that underpin global legal, business, and regulatory affairs. It's by crossing into and respecting other disciplines that our united efforts can and will shape the outcome of decision-making in the law and other fields over time, in spite of short-term uncertainties and perceived randomness. And over time, that's what will lead to positive change. In the MSL class of 2022, we have future doctors and prospective lawyers. We have experienced clinical research professionals, data privacy and information governance consultants, and legal technologists. One of us will head to culinary school next year. Others will bring or are already bringing their innovative thinking to startups, global law firms, and diverse industries. My peers in this program have incorporated businesses while they were here, and we span the globe. And there's somehow a particle physicist heading to the Bureau of Economic and Business Affairs, of all places. Of course, we are more than just our job titles. Potluck dinners had us cooking for one another, and performances during class breaks and on stage surfaced hidden talents that we celebrated. This class invested itself in public service. We wandered the streets of Chicago together, exploring all the city has to offer in art, music, theater, and sports. And we've also collectively completed an absurd amount of crossword puzzles, both together and often in friendly competition. All that to say that I leave this program incredibly grateful for a year that has been challenging and refreshing and companionable. For this degree that imposed no preconceptions on the trajectory it would take, and the unfettered freedom we had to pursue our wide-ranging interests, and to join others in unabashedly asking the wrong questions in pursuit of right answers. I am grateful for being surrounded by so many smart, motivated people who are intellectually curious in so many uncommon ways. So thank you, and congratulations. To my classmates in the MSL class of 2022, I have so enjoyed spending this year with you, and I can't wait to see what changes you inspire. Thank you.
Wow, that was the first time I thought about how similar law could be to particle physics. Thank you for those inspiring remarks. And can we just take a moment and just cheer for how incredible these three speakers were? It really is part of why our students give me so much hope for the future that they're going to help our society build. We will now announce the Faculty and Student Awards. It is a time-honored tradition at this law school for members of our graduating class to recognize their peers and select faculty members with graduation awards. Our faculty is an extraordinary group of teachers and scholars, and the connections that they make with our students are among the most important and meaningful aspects of their role. Varun Kumar Leila will present this year's faculty awards. Varun served as president of the Student Bar Association, our student government, during the 2021 school year. He's been an outstanding leader and representative for our students and for the class of 2022. I also would like to express my gratitude to the SBA and its executive board for their important leadership, which has improved our law school in tangible ways and in ways that will benefit future generations of students at Northwestern. It has been an honor and a pleasure to have a chance to collaborate with our SBA leaders to support our students and make our school better. So with that, please join me in welcoming Varun to the podium.
Thank you, Dean Osofsky, and also I want to say thank you to my mother, Dr. Usharani Pandurthi. I would not be here without you, and I will love you always and forever. I now have the honor of announcing the Class of 22 Faculty Award winners. The Outstanding Adjunct Professor Award honors the teaching excellence of adjunct faculty members. Congratulations to this year's award winner, Professor Andre Fiebig. The Outstanding First Year Course Professor Award was established in 1996 to honor the teaching excellence of faculty members who teach a first-year mandatory course. Congratulations to this year's winner, Professor Zachary Clopton. Professor Clopton was not able to attend today's ceremony, so we will hold on to his award for him. The Outstanding Professor of a Small Class Award was established to honor the teaching excellence of faculty members who teach classes of a limited size. Congratulations to this year's award winner, Professor Monica Llorente. The Robert R. Wooten Award for Teaching Excellence in the LLM Tax Program honors the teaching excellence of faculty in the area of tax law. Congratulations to this year's award winner, Professor Paul Pensack. The MSL Outstanding Residential Professor honors the teaching excellence of faculty members teaching in the Master of Science in Law's residential format. Congratulations to this year's winner, Professor Stephen F. Reed. The MSL Outstanding Online Professor honors the teaching excellence of a faculty member teaching in the Master of Science in Law's online format. Congratulations to this year's award winner, Professor Esther Barron. The Childress Award was established to honor the memory of Professor Robert Childress, a great teacher in law, 1934 to 1976. The Childress Award is presented annually to the faculty member selected by the entire student body as this year's most outstanding teacher. Congratulations to this year's winner, Professor Stephen F. Reed. Still have to give a speech.
Thank you, class of 2022. This is very moving to me. I'm speechless, said no law professor ever. I've got notes. I mean, I'm going to say something. Although just off note for a minute, Naomi mentioned sort of from your perspective when you see faculty for the first time and they're taller or shorter, and on the receiving end of that, and this is not a joke, yesterday a student said to me, Professor Reed, we thought you were much shorter and chubbier. And like my first thought was, we don't comment on other people's bodies. And my second thought was, thank you. I've been swimming, I don't know. I mean, but in any event, the Childress Award. So like the rest of the faculty here, I care a great deal about teaching. And maybe put in a better way, we all care tremendously about your learning. And what I've seen of your learning, of you, since you've been here at Northwestern, has been incredible. I can't speak for any of you, but my perspective is that this has been a very challenging time. My notes say shit show. And yet somehow, graduates, you did it. We all saw how hard you work. And the major, the really major, who the fuck saw this coming? I know I should have said who the fuck, but I think I'm in the Chicago theater. It's embarrassing. But we didn't see it coming, and then I watched you. We all saw you overcome it. These challenges we didn't know were there. And I saw you in class. You worked so hard, and you did really terrific work. And that was great. But I also saw outside of class, and I think in some ways this is more important, how hard you worked and that you had a community. Well, you built a community. And you made it in the hallways. You made it online. That's not a reference to the listserv. Pause for awkward giggles. But you built a community in ways that no students before you ever had to do. And we all saw it, and it was, at the risk of sounding dumb, it was beautiful. And it's been fun to watch you do that, and it's been inspiring. Your friends and family are proud of you. The faculty is proud of you. The staff is proud of you. I'm proud of you. And I trust you're proud of yourselves, because you should be. This was hard, and you did it. I just want to say one more thing. It doesn't stop today. If you did this, and you did, then you can do anything. This has been an unusually hard time, but life, even in the easiest times, isn't easy. And I know you can do it. You're going to have challenges, and when you do, I hope you call on your Northwestern family, all of us here. And we'll be there for you, and we'll help. And I know you will not just get through things. You won't just survive. You're going to be able to thrive just like you did here. You can handle what's ahead, whether it's the bar exam, a new job, more grad school, even a difficult personal situation, anything. You can do it, and you will. So thank you, and more importantly, congratulations. It is my honor to present the student awards. And the recipients don't know who they are. I'd ask when I call your name, just come on up. And I'm going to keep going through the names. Don't be insulted by that, but just make your way up here to the stage and you can line up right here. So the Courage Award goes to the student who has shown the greatest courage in surmounting obstacles and barriers to entering into, remaining in, or completing his or her legal education. And the award goes to Olga Cosme Toledo. The Global Legal Profession Award goes to the student who has made the greatest contribution to professional responsibility and the practice of law, either in clinical performance or otherwise, Venesus Ercus Deconia. The Leadership Award goes to the student who has made the greatest contribution to leadership in the student community, Varun Leila. The Legal Profession Award goes to the student who has made the greatest contribution to professional responsibility and the practice of law, either in clinical performance or otherwise, Marissa Jackson. The Lee B. Beenan Prize goes to the student who has demonstrated excellence in writing and research and intelligence and originality in approach to the topic in a student note or comment in the Journal of Criminal Law and Criminology, Jordan Martin. The Loudon Wigmore Prize prizes go to the students who produced outstanding written contributions to each Northwestern Pritzker Law Journal. For the Journal of Human Rights, Kate Baskin. For the Journal of Technology and Intellectual Property, Alvaro Cure Dominguez. For the Journal of Criminal Law and Criminology, Amanda Gazvanden. For the Northwestern University Law Review, Wafa Junaid. For the Journal of Law and Social Policy, Kara Kurland. For the Journal of International Law and Business, Christy Liu. The MSL Residential Student Award goes to the graduating residential student who, through their impact on the program and the world, best exemplify the innovative spirit of the MSL program, Maria Jenkins. The MSL Online Student Award goes to the graduating online student who, through their impact on the program and the world, best exemplify the innovative spirit of the MSL program, Madeline Dowdy. The Service Award goes to the student who has shown the greatest dedication and commitment to public service in the legal profession, Rodrigo Azures Ozuzaldo. The Victor Rosenblum Award goes to the LLM student who has done the most to uphold the traditions of the law school, Laura Camila Grisales Peña. We're just going to pause for a moment and distribute some awards. One more time for the award winners. And finally, the Wigmore Key goes to the student who has done the most to help preserve the traditions of the law school. This year's winner is Grace Herndon. Congratulations to all.
give another round of congratulations both to Steve Reed, but also to the incredible award winners from both the faculty and the students. They're just wonderful. So it is now my great honor and pleasure to introduce today's keynote speaker, Marie O. Huber. Ms. Huber is currently Senior Vice President, Chief Legal Officer, and General Counsel of eBay Inc. Her impressive career has included strategic, business, legal, and public policy experience at 3 global Fortune 500 companies. Before joining eBay, she served as SVP and General Counsel at Agilent Technologies, where she was responsible for global legal and governmental affairs, communications, regulatory quality, and philanthropy. She began her in-house career at Hewlett-Packard Company, and before that worked at large law firms in New York and in San Francisco. Outside of her operating role, Ms. Huber serves on the boards of Portland General Electric and Adevinta ASA, the largest global online classifieds company. She also serves on the University Council at Yale, the board of the Leadership Council on Legal Diversity, and she recently served on the board of Silicon Valley Community Foundation, the country's largest community foundation. And, again, on a bit of a personal note, we are especially grateful for her service to our law school community as a member of the Northwestern University Pritzker School of Law board. Ms. Huber has a BA in economics from Yale and studied at the London School of Economics before earning her JD from Northwestern Pritzker Law. She and her husband have 2 young adult children and live in the Bay Area. She's a strong champion for paying it forward, diversity, equity, and inclusion, and giving back to the community. And we are thrilled that she is joining us today to share her insights with our graduates. Can you please join me in giving a very warm welcome to Marie O. Huber.
Thank you, Dean Osofsky, for that kind introduction. Members of the law school, Dean Osofsky, faculty, staff, family and friends of today's graduates, and most importantly, to the class of 2022. Congratulations, what a tremendous accomplishment you're celebrating today. You're closing one chapter and starting on a new journey. So what better time than to take a moment and reflect. Yet before we do that, as major a milestone as this is for you, today is equally important for others in this room with you. You know who your people are. They encouraged you, held you up, celebrated, commiserated with you, maybe endured just a tiny bit of crabbiness and stress, and we're just there for you. On top of navigating all this during 2+ years of the pandemic. Without them, you may not have made it here today, and they share your immense joy, relief, and pride. So graduating students, if you're able, please stand. Turn around, get up, look about this magnificent theater, and give a big thank you to your family, your friends, faculty, staff. Woo! Both those who could be here today, as well as those who couldn't. Woo! You can sit down now, thank you. When Dean Osofsky invited me to speak today, I confess that I had a mix of feelings. Flattered, excited, definitely nervous. I turned to a wise friend who gave a law school commencement address. He was told to be funny, be wise, and be brief. Shoot. Don't they know that no one has ever accused Koreans of being funny? And wise, I'll do my best. But what I can do is be brief. So allow me to share briefly my thoughts on 3 topics that really had an impact on my career journey: resilience, trust, and courage. First, resilience. Over 35 years ago, when I was at this law school, I was so excited because I had landed a summer job at a prestigious law firm on Wall Street. After my second year, which law students know leads to a full-time role after you graduate, I was in awe of it all. The sculpture and art as you entered the Marble Plaza, the fancy offices, the games, dinners, rooftop parties we were all treated to. Did it get any cooler than this? I was even awestruck by the other interns, who seemed way more sophisticated and confident than me. For a kid from Milwaukee, a city that no one has ever called cool, and as a child of Korean immigrants, I was on the doorstep of a world I had never dreamed of. My perfect future was right there, laid out for me. But I didn't get a full-time offer. I was devastated and ashamed. It felt like a blow I wouldn't recover from. Yet, I picked myself up, put back on my interview suit, and found a job at another firm that ironically was right across the street. It was not my original plan, but it ended up just great. This was just one of several setbacks I've experienced. It was hard for me to realize then that I had my whole career ahead of me. Only years later could I see that. Like the runners I was cheering on last month at the Brooklyn Marathon, where my daughter was running the half, I was only at mile 1 of my 26.2-mile journey. Don't sweat it if you don't feel like you're bursting out of the starting gates. Don't beat yourself up if you haven't landed that dream job, found the perfect relationship, or you don't have a 5-year plan. Even as you experience disappointments, you'll find that you're more resilient than you know. Hey, you've proved it already by dealing with having 2/3 of your law school time take place during COVID. Remember, when you encounter bumps along the road, it does make you stronger, even if in the moment it's really hard. You learn to adapt and adjust. It ultimately builds confidence because you've overcome adversity. Trust is another area that I've learned a lot about throughout my career. I'm a fan of Harvard Business School Frances Frye's work, in particular her trust triangle. In case you're not familiar with it, Professor Frye talks about the 3 components of trust: logic, authenticity, and empathy. To build trust as a leader, you need to demonstrate all 3. Now, for us lawyers, we've got the logic piece nailed. Early in my career, though, authenticity was hard. I thought I had to create a larger presence in order to be seen and heard, especially as a small Asian woman in largely male-dominated industries. However, over time, I found power in being myself. I learned that by building trusted relationships and leveraging my experience and skills, I could make an impact. A key part of building trust is being authentic with colleagues. I took time to talk about my family and made a point of having pictures of them in my office. And speaking of my family, I am delighted and grateful that my crew, my dear husband, children, mom, and siblings, are here to support me. So I encourage you to talk about your loved ones, your hobbies, your life outside work. Be open about when you're having a bad day or don't know the answer. As leaders, it's hard to show vulnerability, but this drives real connections. And be empathetic. Act with grace and kindness. I'll never forget how much it meant to me when, after a tough meeting that didn't go well for me, a colleague reached out afterwards and asked me how I was doing. It was a small act, but one that built trust because I knew I could be open with her. Show that you care and that you're invested in your team members' success. Finally, courage. When I think of courage, I think of this quote from Robert F. Kennedy's speech at the University of San Francisco Law School. Courage is the most important attribute of a lawyer. It is more important than competence or vision. It can never be an elective in any law school. It can never be delimited, dated, or outworn. I have come across many situations during my career that nothing in law school prepared me for. That's where courage comes in. The courage to make a decision even though you have less than perfect information, or to speak up with an unpopular opinion, or to be direct and share what some might think of as bad news. Courage could be encouraging your team to take smart risks and then having their back no matter what happens. Or it might mean sharing your story when you're also feeling scared and vulnerable to help create a safe place for others to do so. Last year, after the Atlanta shootings and other acts of violence against Asian Americans, I felt really angry, sad, and anxious. I could have kept that to myself. From my experience in large law firms and the C-suite and boardrooms of big tech companies, where I was often the only one, the only woman, or one of a few women or minorities, I had unfortunately gotten accustomed to those issues not really being discussed. Sometimes it was almost easier to pretend I wasn't different. Yet I knew that I needed to share my experience and encourage a young woman leader of our Asian Employee Resource Group. She hosted a forum with our executive leaders to hear about the lived experiences of our Asian American employees who were really hurting. I'll never forget that day and the courage shown by those colleagues who were willing to open up and share their stories to help educate, inspire action, and create connection. Class of 2022, your future is incredibly bright. As I look into the audience, I see a group of leaders, some who will go on to lead large teams and organizations, perhaps cities or countries, some who will advocate for others, and others who will become judges or thought leaders. Regardless of what you end up doing, remember, you are resilient. The importance of building trust and to act with courage. I'd like to leave you with one final thought. Earlier, we acknowledged family, friends, and supporters, people who helped you get here today. As the poet Maya Angelou said, when you learn, teach. When you get, give. As you embark on the next phase of your life, pay it forward. Help make the world a better place as many others have done for you. Thank you and congratulations.
That was amazing. We are so lucky to have your leadership and so lucky to have our graduates hear your words. Can you please join me in just another thank you? So we now turn to the conferral of degrees. At Northwestern Pritzker School of Law, we follow an academic tradition that dates back to the 13th century, which you can read about more in the front of the programs that you have today. As each graduate is called, they will come forward and be adorned with an academic hood signifying their degree. Professor Monica Llorente will read the names of the JD and JD MBA graduates, and Professor John Thornton will read the names of the LLM and MSL graduates. Faculty closely involved with each degree program will help to distribute the hoods.
Left is good, because I'm a lefty. Okay. Yeah. And then, so there's just one, okay. So which one? Wait a minute. Excuse me, if we've only got one, who should hood them? The candidate for the degree of Doctor of Juridical Science to be hooded by Professor Adi Altschuler. Zhuhao Wang, with his children Harrison and Hudson. The candidates for the degree of Master of Laws to be hooded by Professors Cliff Zimmerman, Adi Altschuler, and Sarah Megan Brown. Cristina Gonzalez Duarte, Camilo Andres Marin Acosta, Alejandro Beatriz Azinovich Alvarez, Elena Amantegui Pacheco, Laura Lynn Rushton, Isabelle Mitrote Gomez Caceres, Juan Sebastián Para Cerón, Jimena de la Vega Soberón, Irene Anton Espinosa, Alvaro Rueda Cotes, Maria Carzón Stopen, Laura Camila Grisales Peña, Joaquin Sosa, Roberto Jose Maldonado, Diego A. Ansures Alcala Bojorquez, Caitlin Nicole Krantz, Ishan Ravindranath, Maitali Sundar Rajan, Gonzalo Chiapelo, Juan Jose Romano Blanco, Guillermo P. Petrucic, Paulina Gonzalez Larios, Vinicius Hercules de Cunha, Mario Gomez Carrera Neto, Sergio Jacinto Guerrieri Rezende Filo, Gonzalo Rivas Orozco, Ivy Singh, Aranjoy Chaudhry, Shen Zhang, Xiao Yi Na, Jiamei Shun, Andres Martin Chester, Vicente Vergara Campuzano, Mariana Urban, Mariana Siquiera de Figueiredo Trota, Guillermo Mero Iche. Camila Torres Medina, Li Shuang Peng, Peru Zhang, Zinguin Gu, Vidushi Nandan, Fatih Burkan Bayraktar, Himanshu Pal Singh, Ophélie Ducailleux, Juan Jose Ledon Espinosa, Rong Zhou, Yunran Zheng, Ting Li, Wenxing Ji, Tianjue Bian, Yunfan Zhao, AJ Gunulal, Natalia Gibaros Lima, Victoria Casol Chica, Sofia Teves Gunevauja Brum. Victor de Castro Brum Heish. Jaime Jasso Cepeda. Oishani Banerjee. Corina Weinacker. Antonio Morales. Kutuku Vanessa Kuete. Ria Minesh Vora. Gayatri Sagar Chopra. Suleiman Hussein. Michael Grambo. Amina Cheyenne Pal. Hang Wang. Marco Baggiotti. Yao Ma. Chung Chun. George El Chaluhi. Arif Gotu Selvitopu. Victor Hugo Gonçalves da Silva Silveira. Anthony Ganem. Alessandra C. Vilches. Rahmad Sanjani Ramadani. Sumio Hamada. Kittipit Visesin. Tsung Ting Ma. Hui Chun Chun. Yu Tung Fan. Gabriel Zvi Lefkowitz. Revital Steiner. Rana Ali Yar Khan. Boris Klimpfinger. Jaya Darshini Sudian Vampathanam. Chao Yi Wang. Shang Yu Yin. Shishui Liu. Siuchen Yu. Wenyi Zhang. Siru Chen. Xing Wang. Sui Lu. Hui Wen Hu. Wei Jun Wang. Yu Bai, Tong Li, Yu Hui Wang, Shishi Li, Huixuan Wang, Yujing Tang, Yu Sha, Yifan Wei, Tingyue Shun, Jiaying Mao, Chenxi Li, Yuying Xu, Yiren Jiu, Huishan Ho, Yushui Shun, Sui Wang, Suyi Liu, Shuang Zhang, Wei Chen, Marco Antonio Fuentes Tamayo, Di Fan, Xi Chen, Yuichi Hayashi, Lu Qin Wang, Jinghun Zheng, Shuifei Long, Pacharatida Wangwilawan, Yuan Wang with Paul, Daiichi Inaga with Yuna and Kento, and Hyuna Cho with Ethan and Sam. What? Okay. Alejandro Gerardo Guajardo Ibarra, Raúl Paniagua Reyes, hooded by Maria Antonieta Silva Martinez. Okay, just wait. Yeah. That is the end of the Master of Laws degrees. The candidates for the degree of Master of Laws in International Human Rights, to be hooded by Bridget Aramond, Professors Bridget Aramond, Carolyn Fraser, and Tom Garrity. Tatiana Torres Montenegro, Aisha Salim, Sara Inaz Pursavar, Rabia Hilal Shenash, Myra May Pei Sool, Mohammed Ziadul Islam Chaudhry, Henna Jaydeep Shah. This is the end of the Master of Laws and International Human Rights. The candidates for the degree of Master of Laws Executive Program Madrid, to be hooded by Professors Jim Lupo, Jim Speta, and Soledad Atienza. Natalia Rubio Herrera, Rosebud Esperanza Nana Acoa Gabra Sarfo, Diana Maria Pedraza Barantes, Natalia Lorena Lopez Herrera, Adriana Maria Morales Jimenez, Juan Sebastian Pachon Guerrero, Andrea Cubillos Hernandez, Giovanna Sea Freire Neves, Julia de Castro Carazedo Tade, Alejandro Daniel Acosta Aviña, Giancarlo Andrioli Cerdas, with Lara Andrioli and Juan Miguel Martinez Mendieta. Okezi Ueda Mishak, Andres Fernando Toledo Perez, Maxime Robert DeVos, Paula Ahivabene Maino, Ana Maria Terán Mereo, Jimena Villegas Ingunza. Daniela Sofia Garza Aguirre, Pierre Alexander Dubert Abarca, Ignacio Javier Perez Luque, Diego Germán Mora Posada, Daniel Wishart Chappell, Carolina Alcalde with Mateo and Pascual. Camila Corvalan with Belisaro Vecchia Corvalan and Alfonso Vecchia Corvalan. Guillermo Naro Mendez with Guillermo Naro. Thomas J. Powell. This is the end of the Master of Laws Executive Program, Madrid. The candidates for the degree of Master of Laws in Taxation, to be hooded by Professors Herb Beller, Paul Pensack, and David Cameron. Antonio Gaetana James Person, Roman Sankovic, Tara Denise McKnight, Bailey Jean Beeman, Valentina Capitosto, Mitch Pace Gibson, Basirat Oluwatosin Muteru, Brenda Gallardo, Raciel Pintado II, Consuelo Ruiz Hernandez, Juan Jaime Peterson Camarena, Drake Thomas Forsyth Duncan, Levi James Mitchell, John Caleb Billingsley, Devin W. Sprittle, Xia Zhong Tsai, Ki-Wen Ding, Jonathan Classing, Jonathan David Huang, Colin Eyre, Douglas James Joseph Schaefer, Koji Yamauchi, Aubrey S. Griffin, Clayton Springer, Nathan Johnson, Joseph Bartholomew, Peter James Kozelka, Matthew W. Adams, Michael Scully, Rebecca Roberts, Lauren Ann Watson, Alina Alexandra Risser, Jalen Smith with Kofi. Jeffrey Golds with Douglas and Floyd. Sasha M. Reb with Edith. This is the end of the Master of Laws in Taxation. The candidates for the degree of Master of Science in Law, to be hooded by Professors Esther Barron, Steve Reed, and Darren Green. Faith Breeden, Vivian Lai, Madison Matthews, Rory Shea Fitzpatrick, Spencer Stong, Kai Thomas Seltner, Shi He, Jasmine Moody, Madeline C. Dowdy Croney, Dennis Wayne Howland, Lauren Kimberly Schenk, Hapuka Anna John, Teresa Queen Larosiliere, Maria Diaz Jenkins, Vaidehi N. Patel, Sumer N. Bhatti, Taha Muhammad Ali, Hiroyuki Inazawa, Brianna Monique Husky, James Townsend, Cameron Y.S. Lee, Katie Eileen Ray, Emily Bell Moron Heriz, Jill Marie Woodman, Yael Quiles Ramirez, Yasmin Ali, Dana Coles Johnson, Diana Sanson, David A. Commissar, Rhea Christina Blanks, Antonio Maxwell Poza, Tyler Stephen Hodgett, Rex Cabrias, Rokeith Oksana Maud Daly, Daniel Mark Connolly, Evgeny Mayman, Mia Simone Harris, Andrew Werner, Boris Kevin Yapi Kulyu Yan, with his daughter, Ilan. Daniel Rodriguez, Jessica Christine Neely, Sarah Elizabeth Viano, Łukasz Siboran, Amanda Langen, Pamela Duarte, Ardith Jayaraman, Aiden Hall, Sarah Weber, Rayvon Edward Dean II, Alexander J. Markels, Colin M. Francois, Janelle Chinyere Nkwacha, Nawon Kim, Amy D. Heiser, Julie Anna Guthrie, Johnny Allison Abel, Daniel McAllister, Mark John Malandrino, Darrell Anton Swanson, Kathleen Ann Butcher, Spencer Togia, Megan Christine Beal, Samuel B. Jacobs, Manching Lang, Beiyu Luo, Yichun Liu, Junjie Zhang, Tianyuan Shun, Haoshwen Zhang, Xinming Wu, Gu Chu, Boyu Wei, Jiaqi Gu, Fengguang Xian, Dejan Christopher Smith, Nicole Catherine Morley. Samantha Lorraine Adamchevsky. This is the end of the Master of Science in Law. I'll just be. Where's Monica?
It doesn't matter. And now for the candidates for the degree of Juris Doctor and Master of Business Administration, to be hooded by Annalise Booth, Wendy Muchman, and Peter DeCola. David R. Scholar. Vikram Aditya Rajan. Ryan Young-Ho Moon. Scott Lee. Chandler Young Keller II. Austin Dressen. Richard Bay Gong. Emma Lee Mayberry. Mark Christopher Appleton. Nima Malik Khosravi. Bonnie Lee. J. Huck Lee. Nicholas Ramon Perez. Alexander Prezioso. Catherine Inglis. Tara Robinson. Justin Michael Sheehan. Emma Ingebrigtsen. Robert Miller Wise. Catherine Ann Nagley. Malia Tekbeam. Zora D. Jacobi. Yoon Lee. With Aaron and Claire Lee. Anthony Taylor with Weston and Cora. And that concludes our candidates for Juris Doctor and Master of Business Administration. Now for our candidates for the degree of Juris Doctor, to be hooded by Annalise Booth, Wendy Munchman, and Peter DeCola. William J. D'Angelo. William Dominic Weber. Elizabeth Ann Wayne. Taylor Nicole Todd. Nagasi Haptamariam Tesfa Michael. Christopher McLean. Tomide Kayode Owolabi. Amarachi Ogechi Abakporo. Alexis Jones Johnson. Mariah Nicole Levy. Amanda Jones. Olga Marie Cosme Toledo. Gloria Chelsea Kanje. Rodrigo Ansures Oyorzabal. Ishani Choksi. Nicholas J. Bringardner. Joel Noam Newman Mackler. David William McGar. Elizabeth Logan. Lauren Nicole Theotakis. Daniel Dvorak. Zachary Jason Peach. And now, with the degrees of Juris Doctor and Master of Laws in Taxation, Curtis Andrew French. Continuing with the degrees of Juris Doctor, Sarah Elizabeth Mason. Brooks Becker. Robert Walter Brandon II. Benjamin Carberry. Jessica Xinyi Fong. Michael Taylor Saunier. Victor Thomas Hiltner. Anthony Paul Salceda. Andrew J. Bjorklund. Michelle Kayun Kim. Ivy Eugene. Karen Shu. Caleb Song. Byung Hoon Choi. Philip Wu. Erica Yoon Kyung Ah. Matthew Shepard. Benjamin Nitschelm. Scott Alexander Gregus. Jake Law. Alexandria Ray. Julia McCartney Stublin. Bonnie Huff. Emily Atsef. William Clodges. Naftali Jacobs with Zipporah, Levi, and Ahuva. Robert McAuliffe. Richard White. Hitch Thompson. Kimberly Leanne Sheehan. Rex N. Alley. Julia M. Nagel. Alicia Grace Garton. Jill Marie Dougherty. Sofia Belen Orelo. Nicholas R. Botcher. Sarah Kathleen Rosenberg. Anna Marie Bush. William Tyler Dallas. James K. Ford. Joseph G. Spica. Megan D. Lenz. Emma Costello. Kara Kurland. Michael Morrell. Jack B. Kramer. Lee Amarie Mahoney Kinde. Verde D'Aquino. Rachel D. Klein. Thomas Andrew Nicholas. Rachel Hannah Nolan. Barrett Cooney. Christian Michael Catan. Abby Dershin. Catherine Baskin. Matthew C. Childers. Leah Buchelman. Emily Ann Starbuck. Natalie Dolarian. Dominique A. Gilbert. Mark Schiff with Avi and Miri. Zvi Kreuzer. Jared Black. Brooke Nicole Blankenship. Adam Glynn. Taylor Brooke Jackman. God, I'm so nervous. Anna Bahar Blinder, I know. I do know her name. Anna Bahar Blinder. Evan Binder. Nicholas Cade Gunther. Jordan Farrow. Naomi Duru. Emma Grace Silverstein. Catherine A. Bizat. Amar A. Adam. Caroline Adnams. Isaac Slater Marco. Alexander Mark Stevenson, who is graduating with the degrees of Juris Doctor and Masters of Law in Taxation. And for the degree of Juris Doctor, Ivan Parfanoff. Philip Rich. Christopher Kenneth Smiklos. Laura Lee Ann Kampschneider. She was hooded by someone. But I don't see him. Caitlin Scalero. Taylor Alexandra Marcuson. Taylor Gail Hoffman. Megan E. Grenville. Greta Lynn Gangsted. John Packer Lebo IV. Jessica Ann Ring. Allison Aldridge Clark. With Rosie. Michelle Hunt. Gabrielle Christine Reardon. Connor Cohen. He Sang Huang. Anna June Heil. James Vance Kennedy. Jimmy Vance Kennedy. And Joshua H. Aldi. Andrew Lee. Zachary Franco. Eli Samuel Schwartz. Alvaro Cure Dominguez. Michael Andre Tromesky. Cole Lemke. Olivia R. Blauert. Kyle Ryan Stenseth. Matthew Joseph Peterson. Brandon Phillips. Nicholas DeTusa Daly. Christy Lou Richardson. Marie Elise Andrade Allison. Varun Kumar Leila. Caitlin J. Schumacher. Patrick George Murphy. Nicole M. Holtz. Caroline Casey Olivier. Melissa Hurtado. Ying Liu with Dora. Chen Zhang. Xiaoyang Tang. Nima Riahi. Xiao Rui Young. Henry Zhu. Matthew Chang. Rebecca C. Jin. Olivia Michelle Fong. Benjamin Douglas Kovac. Jared Michael Epstein. Bradley Ryan Kaplan. Elizabeth Devon Ames. Marissa Jackson. Janice W. Lynn. Rachel Hannah Lee. Monica Gerstner. Nicole Alejandra Camargo Almeida. Matthew Lee Hudson. Ian Arthur Fink. Ryan Bradley. Andrew Russell Alley. Lawrence Choi. Andrew Hongye Chung. Derek Fong. Matthew McClure. Kristen Michelle Lee Ken. Alex Eva Johnson. Carlos Ángel Sardiña. Jeremy S. Wright. Madeline Duncan. Amanda Taylor Davis. Hassan Cheating. Sam Brock. Brianna Marie Singson. Ariana Garcia Moore. Sarah Chansky. Kristen Cherie Franco. Caitlin M. Ryan. Hiba Sheikh. Summer G. Sofri. Julia Salzo. Jordan Mackenzie Martin. Grace E. Herndon. Sarika Pandrangi. Andrea Shang. Bridget Carmichael. Isabella Julianne Peretti. Lee Elizabeth Kramer. Samantha Yondel. Lisa Renee Holzman. Matthew Davis. Brandon D. Lynn. Michael O'Rourke. Anthony Ramirez. Rebecca Trickey. Stephen S. Komorek. William J. Snyder. Oren Kriegel. Steve Singh Danoan. Austin William Pyatt. Matthew Jordan Barnett. Jordan Thomas Redler. Sunaya Padmanabhan, hooded by Devin Padmanabhan. Wafa Junaid, hooded by Allison Bain. Anouk Versavel, hooded by Joffrey Edelstein. And Samuel Jacob Skinner, hooded by Honey Skinner. Alicia Dawn McIntosh, hooded by Sierra McGowan. Matthew D. Dickel, hooded by Ronald and Marion Dickel. Enrique N. Carneiro, hooded by Catherine Servone. Barong Polk, hooded by Dan Pritzker. Sharon C. Mims, hooded by Sean Nash. Carly L. Pace, hooded by Michael Pace. Gabriela Victoria Chavez Barrientos, with Natalia Victoria Talavera and Manuel Antonio Talavera.
see the nice lady in the blue gown.
Blair C. Matthews, hooded by Reginald Guy, and with Benjamin Nicholas and Bo Winston. Elizabeth A. Jeffers with Charlotte, and Peter Joseph Shire, hooded by Clayton Fates. And candidates for the degree of Juris Doctor who couldn't be with us here today: Kathleen Kennedy, Eliza Quander, Marlee Rich, and Jennifer Shanahan. And this concludes our candidates for the degree of Juris Doctor.
It is my distinct honor to present to all of you the Northwestern Pritzker Law School Class of 2022. So today marks the end of your time as a student and the beginning of another equally important relationship with the law school. Today you join our alumni community of over 17,000 people worldwide. So as an alum, you'll always be part of our Northwestern Pritzker Law community that spans the world. And as you navigate your careers in the years ahead, you will continue to have access to the law school's many services. I encourage you to take advantage of these resources, maintain the wonderful relationships you've built here, and access the valuable network available to you as a Northwestern Pritzker Law graduate. We are here to support your personal and professional growth, and we also encourage you to pay it forward with the students and alumni who follow you, as I've seen you already doing with each other and the students who have come to this law school behind you. As we come to the end of this ceremony, I wanted to share some final thoughts with our graduates. As lawyers and professionals, you have a unique opportunity and responsibility to contribute to justice and make an impact. At this moment of challenge in our country and in countries around the world, this role is more important than ever. Technology, globalization, cross-cutting problems, and the need for greater equity and justice are transforming the practice of law and our society. These past 2 years that we've all lived through together have both accelerated these transitions and exacerbated inequality around the world. And amid this evolution of the legal profession, of society, there are threats to justice and to rights in the United States and around the world. And the access to justice gap remains profound. The World Justice Project reports that more than 5.1 billion people, or approximately 2/3 of the world's population, approximately 2/3 2/3 of the world's population, are not getting the justice that they need for both everyday problems and severe injustices. And approximately 1.4 billion people have unmet civil or administrative justice needs. In this country alone, a Legal Services Corporation report found that 86% of the civil legal problems reported by low-income people in this country received inadequate or no legal help. We, as lawyers, have an obligation and an opportunity to help bridge these justice gaps and find innovative pathways for the law to move forward. I am so grateful to all that this class has already contributed to do so, and I'm excited for all you will contribute. It is also critically important at this time of challenge that we build our relationships and collaborations that span this country and globe. And I'm really proud of what an international, transnational law school we are. Our public health crisis has certainly reinforced both global interconnection and inequality, as so many of the major issues facing the world do. So I encourage you, as you move forward, to find new ways to build partnerships with one another and our law school as we work together to make a difference. And we really look forward to continuing to collaborate with all of you. Beyond these major challenges and opportunities in the profession and our society, we all face choices about what kind of person we will be, what values we will embody, and what it means to have balance in our lives, something that a lot of our speakers spoke to today. We have opportunities every day, small and large, to build community and pay it forward, and to lift up one another. None of us can predict the opportunities and challenges of life, as your time in law school has profoundly highlighted, but I encourage you to embrace the synergies and the synchronicities, the learning that comes from our challenges. Apply for that job. Walk through that unexpectedly open door, even if you're not quite sure you're qualified. Congratulations again to our graduates, to their families, to their friends, and it is now my pleasure to introduce our wonderful Dean of Students, Susie Spies-Roth, who will offer some closing remarks to conclude our ceremony.
Thank you. Class of 2022, you did it! Woo! So I was going to stand in front of you today and in front of all of your friends and all of your families and all of the individuals who have helped you get to this day. And I was going to talk about the inordinate amount of grit that I've seen demonstrated by each and every single one of you as you have succeeded through your programs at Northwestern Law. And I was going to talk to you about the resilience that you have demonstrated as you confronted myriad challenges in an incredibly challenging time. But as I stood over there and I congratulated each and every human being who is graduating with a degree from Northwestern Pritzker Law today, I realized that that's not what today is about. Yes, you've shown grit. Yes, you've shown resilience. But standing over there on that stage, multiple times today, something happened to me that has never happened to me at a graduate convocation ever in over a decade, because yes, I'm quite old. And that is, I had tears in my eyes. I had tears in my eyes remembering the conversations that we've had over Zoom. I had tears in my eyes remembering the way that you surmounted challenges with grace and determination. And I had tears in my eyes because you all deserve this so much. And so instead, what I want today to be about is community. I want today to be about family. I want today to be about joy, boundless joy. I want today to be about love. And I want today to be about hope. Because watching each and every one of you cross this stage, I am filled with such profound hope for our future. Because you are going to go out there and you are going to change the world, and we are going to get to watch. No pressure. I really think that one of the most important things that happens to you on your graduation day is that you join a brand new family. All due respect to the amazing families out there, you join the family of Northwestern Pritzker Law alumni. I myself am a member, and I can tell you that our community will be here for you, whatever you need, whenever you need it, and that you will remember so fondly your days of Purple Pride at Northwestern Law. From truly the very bottom of my bursting heart, I wish you such giant congratulations. And now you'll all be thrilled to know that this concludes our graduate convocation. On behalf of Dean Osofsky, I would like to invite all of you back to the law school to celebrate this achievement with friends, family, faculty, and staff. The faculty will recess off the stage, stage right, after which our graduates will process onto the stage and recess out of the theater. You are all incredible. It is my honor to know each and every one of you. Class of 2022, congrats.